Hello, my loves. Namaste, and welcome to your Kapha Pacifying Ayurveda Slow Flow. Today we are getting into the Kapha dosha, which is our earth and water elements. This is cool, stable, damp, slow energy. So we'll be countering that with dynamic movement and some warming asana. We are also going to be really focusing on our lungs and our thymus in particular. One of the qualities of kapha is mucus. So mucus tends to get a little bit aggravated in the lungs and the thymus during spring season or any time that it's getting more humid. That's our kapha energy. With this in mind, we're going to start out today's practice in a comfortable seated position. Closing the eyes and bringing our attention to the breath. We'll take a moment to truly arrive, leaving the rest of the day, the rest of the week at the door, knowing you can pick it up again on your way out. But for now, the only place you need to be is this present moment. Before we hop into asana today, let's do our pranayama. We'll start off with a thymus tapping, simply just tapping your chest and tuning in to your heart space, your lungs, your ribs. And what this is doing is naturally breaking up any mucus that's holding on, that needs to go. And you'll find that your hands naturally might want to go to other places in the body. Maybe they feel naturally drawn up the neck, up to the head. Maybe these taps want to go down your shoulders, side to side, down your legs. Really just tune into what you need, knowing that every tap is receiving healing energy. Trusting that this healing energy knows exactly where to go. And releasing our hands, we'll take another deep breath here. If you'd like to bring in a warming breath for today's practice, we can invite in an ujjayi. Breathing through the nostrils, a slight constriction in the throat. This will sound like an ocean wave or a slight snore. We'll take a few breaths here, cultivating our ujjayi. And you can also use this time to set your intention or sankalpa for today's practice. Our next inhale, arms come overhead, palms meet. Exhale, side bend to the right. Inhale back to center. Exhale, side bend to the left. Inhale back to center. Exhale, cactus the arms, little back bend. Inhale back up. Exhale, elbows come in front of the face. We're opening up behind the shoulders for a seated cat pose. Inhale. Exhale, cactus the arms, little back bend, seated cow. And we'll just take a few breaths here, moving with your own seated cat cows. Moving with your own breath. One more time, we'll inhale back up. Exhale, releasing back down to the mat, taking a deep breath here. And we'll gently release into a tabletop position, hands and knees, where we'll warm up the spine with Marjalasana, cat-cow. Inhale, dropping the belly, looking up for cow pose. Exhale, arching the back, tucking the chin under for cat pose. And just working with your own breath. Feel free to invite in any organic movement that's calling to you. This might be hips side to side, going back and forth between Balasana and Up Dog. Really just tuning into your hips and your spine and asking yourself, what do I need today? Coming back to a neutral tabletop, take a deep breath in. Exhale, sending your hips back, reaching forward, Balasana, child's pose. Third eye to mat connection, deep breath here. Walking our hands over to the left side of the mat, we send our breath to the right side body as we open up through the right rib cage. Deep breaths. We'll come back to center, taking a deep breath here. And walking our hands over to the right side of the mat, we send our breath to the left side body as we open up through the left rib cage. Deep breaths. We'll come back to center for another deep breath here. Inhale, we'll rise back up to tabletop, moving through cat-cow, taking that organic movement, listening to your body. Coming back to a neutral tabletop, we'll inhale, right hand into the sky, rolling out the wrist, opening up through the front of the shoulder. Exhale, right hand sails across the chest, left hand reaches forward for thread the needle. This is a beautiful place to stay, or maybe you'd like to bring that left hand behind the back, finding a partial bind. Deep breaths here. Bringing that left hand next to the shoulder, we'll use that to push ourselves back up to tabletop, moving through cat-cow, taking whatever you need. As you're ready, we'll come back to a neutral tabletop. We'll inhale, left hand comes into the sky, rolling out the wrist, opening out through the front of the shoulder. Exhale, left hand sails across the chest, right hand reaches forward for thread the needle on the other side. Deep breaths here. Releasing that right hand next to the shoulder, we'll push ourselves back up to tabletop, moving through cat-cow, finding that organic movement. And coming back to our neutral tabletop, we'll step our right foot out to the side, and we'll start rocking back and forth, starting to tune into our hips and our hamstrings. These movements can be as big or as little as you need them to be. Moving at your own pace. As you're ready, we'll come back to a neutral tabletop, walking our hands in. We inhale, rise up, palms meet, gate pose. Take a deep breath in. Exhale, side bend to the right, towards your straightened leg. Inhale, back to center. Exhale, palms melt through, heart center down to the ground. Coming back to our neutral tabletop, taking a breath for cat-cow or whatever you need. As you're ready, our left leg steps out to the side. We'll start to rock back and forth, tuning into the hips, the hamstrings, taking whatever you need. As you're ready, we'll start walking the hands in towards the body. We'll inhale, palms rise up, gate pose. Take a deep breath in. Exhale, side bend to the left towards your straightened leg. Inhale, we'll come back to center. Exhale, we'll release back down to the mat. Stepping our left foot in, taking a breath in tabletop. And as you're ready, we'll tuck the toes, take a deep breath in. Exhale, hips into the air, Adho Murga Savasana, downward facing dog. It's our first down dog of the practice, so feel free to pedal out your knees, move your hips, take whatever you need. Our next inhale rounds the spine forward, hips drop. We push ourselves to an upward facing dog, head tilts back in Urdhva Murga Savasana. Exhale, sending your hips back, reaching forward, Balasana Child's Pose. Deep breath here. Our next inhale rounds the spine forward, hips drop, pushing ourselves to an upward facing dog. Tucking the toes, take a deep breath in. Exhale, hips in the air, downward facing dog. Taking a deep breath here. Our next inhale brings the right leg into the sky, bending the knee to really open the hip. Exhale, right foot steps between the hands, left knee drops. We're finding our way to low lunge. Feel free to grab your blocks to help support the upper body and take whatever little adjustment you need to get into the most comfortable version of this pose. Sending your breath to your hips and finding that edge of comfort and stretch. We don't want to force ourselves down here. We just want to find where it feels good and then breathe deep, knowing that your body will relax a little bit more into the stretch with each deep breath. Exhale, we'll straighten that front leg. Chest melts towards the knee in a half splits. Our toes are either pointed up towards the ceiling or maybe they're rocking back and forth to invite in some dynamic movement here. Finding the version of this pose that feels best on your body. Deep breaths. We'll take a few breaths to move back and forth between our low lunge and our half splits. These movements can be as slow as you need them to be. Listening to your body. Finding what feels good. As you're ready, we'll find our way back to low lunge. Hands on the mat, tucking the left toes, left knee raises. Right foot meets the left in downward facing dog. Adho Mukha Savasana. Taking a deep breath here. Our next inhale brings your left leg into the sky, bending the knee to really open the hip. Exhale, left foot steps between the hands, right knee drops. Finding our blocks, taking whatever micro adjustment you need to find your way into the most comfortable version of low lunge. Once again, we're sending our breath to the hips, finding that edge of comfort and stretch. Taking deep breaths. As you're ready, we'll exhale, straightening that front leg, chest melting towards the knee in your half splits. Toes are either pointed up towards the ceiling or they're rocking back and forth for that dynamic stretch. Finding the version of this pose that feels best on your body. Deep breaths here. You can feel free to stay here. Maybe you'd like to start rocking back and forth between your low lunge and your half splits. Finding that organic movement. taking what you need. Really just playing around with your own practice. Getting out of the head into the body. And just remembering that this is our yoga practice, not a yoga perfect. So yours doesn't need to look like mine. Mine's not going to look like yours. As you're ready, we'll find our way back to low lunge, releasing our blocks, hands on the mat, tucking the right toes, right knee raises, left foot meets the right in downward facing dog, Adho Mukha Savasana, pedaling out the knees, taking whatever you need. Our next inhale rounds the spine forward, hips drop. We're pushing ourselves to an upward facing dog. Deep breath here. Squeezing our elbows in towards the rib cage, we exhale, bending down into a cobra pose, activating our triceps. We're getting ready for a cobra breath. So squeezing the arms in. We inhale, rising up nice and slow, using control. Exhale, release back down. We'll take 3 more breaths just like this at your own pace. Really noticing each vertebra. Noticing each inch of the breath. And after that third cobra breath, we'll inhale, rising up, feet rise, hands stretch out for locust pose. Deep breath here. Exhale, we'll return back down to the mat, taking a breath. Our next inhale will rise back up, locust pose. This is a beautiful place to stay, but if you'd like to go a little bit deeper, you can bend your back legs, reaching behind you, finding a floor bow. Maybe you're just down here, maybe you'd like to kick into those back legs. Really activating that inner fire. One more deep breath here. Exhale, we'll gently release back down. Pushing ourselves to an upward facing dog. Deep breath here. Exhale, sending your hips back, Balasana, child's pose. Staying connected to the breath. Our next inhale will rise back up to a tabletop position, taking a breath for cat-cow, organic movement, whatever you need. Coming back to a neutral tabletop, tucking the toes, take a deep breath in. Exhale, hips in the air, downward facing dog, Adho Mukha Savasana, pedaling out the knees, moving the hips, taking whatever you need. Deep breaths here. From here, we'll walk our feet towards our hands, grabbing either elbow, putting a good bend in the knee for forward fold, Uttanasana. Once we're here, we can nod the head yes, shake it no, sway from side to side. We'll inhale to a halfway lift, hands on shins. Exhale, let it fall. Our next inhale will slowly rise on up, vertebra by vertebra, saving your head for last. Finding our way to Tadasana, mountain pose. Once we're here, we'll roll back the shoulders, root down through the corners of the feet. Take a breath in stillness, strong in your mountain. Rooting down into the right side, our left knee pops. As you're ready, left leg raises on up. We're finding a one-leg mountain. Straightening the leg so it's nice and extended like this. Staying connected to your breath. Finding that drishti focal point to help you balance. Exhale, bring it back down to the mat. Take a breath to pedal it out. Take whatever organic movement you need. And as you're ready, we'll find our way back to Tadasana, mountain pose, rolling back the shoulders, rooting down into the left side. As you're ready, right knee pops, right leg raises, finding our balance in a one-legged Tadasana. And as you're ready, extending that right leg, staying connected to your breath. Exhale, right foot comes back down to the mat. We'll pedal it out. Take a breath into Tadasana. Once again, we'll root down into our right side. We're getting ready for Vrikasana tree pose. We can either kickstand our foot right here at the ankle. We can come to the inner calf, inner thigh, or even find our hip crease. I've been really into a hip crease tree lately, so let's find our roots that feel best for you. Starting out with our hands at heart center in Anjali Mudra, finding that drishti focal point to help you balance. And as you're ready, we'll inhale, arms come overhead. Exhale, extending the branches, option for Vayu Mudra. Index finger to thumb, connecting to universal life force energy. Deep breath here. Exhale, gently release back down to the mat, inviting in the wind, letting it blow through your branches, finding that organic movement. Taking whatever you need. As the wind dies down, we find our way back to the mountain, back to stillness, back to that steady nature within. Rooting down into your left side. We'll find the version of tree pose that feels best on your body. Kickstand calf, thigh, or hip crease. We're avoiding our knee joint. Bringing our hands to heart center. Finding that drishti focal point. And as you're ready, we'll inhale, arms come overhead. Exhale, extending your branches, option for Vayu Mudra. Staying connected to your breath. With the earth below, the sky above, we find balance in between. One more deep breath here. Exhale, gently release back down to the mat, inviting in the wind, finding that organic movement, listening to your body. And from here, we'll take a wide stance. We'll inhale, arms to a T. We are in a 5-pointed star. Bring a smile to your face. Imagine something you're grateful for or someone. Take a deep breath in. Exhale, hugging that good energy, that gratitude into your being. So much love. Inhale, open. We'll bring our arms overhead. Take a deep breath in. Exhale, palms melt through, heart center down to the mat, letting your head hang, finding our way to a wide-legged forward fold. Once we're here, we can bend either leg, maybe grab each elbow. Just finding our way into the most comfortable version of this pose. If headstand is in your practice and you want to play around with your headstand here, you are more than welcome. Any inversion like this is going to really help our body get nice and warm, nice and quick. But it's totally okay if you just want to hang out in your forward fold. We'll take one more deep breath here. Inhale to a halfway lift. Exhale, let it fall. We're going to walk our hands and feet out, finding Adho Mukha Savasana, downward facing dog. Inhale, rounding the spine forward, hips drop, pushing ourselves to an upward facing dog. Deep breath here. Tucking the toes, deep breath in. Exhale, hips in the air, downward facing dog, Adho Mukha Savasana. As you're ready, we'll inhale, right leg comes into the sky, bending the knee to really open the hip. Exhale, right knee to right wrist, hips drop. We're finding Kapotasana, pigeon pose. Feel free to pop a block underneath your right hip to create some space for yourself. Otherwise, we're sending our breath to the hips. Starting off in an active pigeon. This is a beautiful place to stay, but if you'd like to go a little bit deeper, we can bend that back leg, reaching behind you for a mermaid pose. Finding the version that feels best on your body. Deep breaths here. Releasing that back leg if you took it. We'll take one more deep breath in. Exhale, gently lowering ourselves down to the mat, block, or pillow for a sleeping pigeon. We're here for quite a few deep breaths, so take whatever micro adjustment you need to get nice and comfortable. If you feel something pinching or pulling, that's your body's way of telling you to ease off or find your blocks. And we'll just find our way into the most comfortable version of this pose. Deep breaths here. next inhale, we'll gently rise back up to pigeon pose. Taking a deep breath here. Hands on the mat, tucking your left toes, left knee raises. Right foot meets the left in downward facing dog. Pedaling out the knees, staying connected to your breath. We'll inhale, left leg comes into the sky, bending the knee to really open the hip. Exhale, left knee to left wrist. We're finding our way into Kapha pigeon pose on the other side. Taking whatever micro adjustment you need. Sending your breath to the hips. And if you took the option to bend that back leg for mermaid pose on the other side, feel free to do so again here, finding whatever version of this pose feels best for you. Deep breaths here. Releasing that back leg if you took it. Take a deep breath in. Exhale, gently lowering down to your mat, block, or pillow, finding your way into the most comfortable version of sleeping pigeon. Deep breaths here. Our next inhale, we'll gently rise back up to our pigeon pose. Tucking the right toes, right knee raises, left foot meets the right in downward facing dog. Taking a deep breath here. Inhale, we'll round the spine forward, hips drop. We're pushing ourselves to an upward facing dog. Exhale, sending the hips back, Balasana, child's pose. Deep breath here. Our next inhale, we'll gently rise back up to a seated position on the knees. We're getting ready for a hero's pose. We'll start by windmilling the hands to the lower back to check in with our lumbar spine. Take a deep breath in. Exhale, little back bend, supported heroes. This might feel like enough of a back bend, or if you'd like to go deeper, we can release hands to the mat, finding our way into a full hero's pose, finding the version that feels best for you. Deep breaths here. Exhale, we'll gently release out of our hero's pose, rolling out the neck, taking whatever you need. We'll inhale, rising all the way up to our knees. If you have blocks, maybe you'd like to place them vertical next to your ankles. And we're getting ready for a camel pose. So we'll start by once again windmilling the hands to the lower back to protect our lumbar spine. Take a deep breath in. Exhale, little back bend, baby camel. Maybe this is enough of a back bend, but if you'd like to go further, you can always reach back towards your blocks, letting your head tilt back. Or we can always find our way into a full camel by simply grabbing your ankles. We'll gently release out of our camel pose, taking whatever little neck rolls you need after that. And from here, we'll straighten the legs out in front of us, finding our way to Dandasana, staff pose. Once we're here, we can roll out the ankles, swoosh our feet from side to side, flex and point the toes. We'll inhale, arms come overhead, tall spine. Exhale, reaching for your feet, letting your head hang. Putting a good bend in your knee if you need it. We're thinking about our chest melting into our thighs more than we're worried about having perfectly straight legs. Deep breaths here. Our next inhale, we'll gently rise back up, bringing our left foot to the inner right thigh. We'll inhale, arms come overhead, turn to your toes. Exhale, reaching for your right foot, letting your head hang. Deep breaths here. Our next inhale, we'll gently rise back up, taking a breath to switch out the legs. And as you're ready, we'll inhale, arms come overhead, turn to your toes. Exhale, reaching for your left foot, letting your head hang. Deep breaths here. Next inhale, we'll gently rise back up. And from here, we'll straighten both legs, finding a good straddle pose. And you can bring your blocks or your pillow in front of you. And as you're ready, we'll start walking our hands forward, finding our way into a dragonfly wide-legged forward fold. Once we're here, our toes are pointed at the ceiling. Our knees are rounded back, so we're not like going forward. We're staying nice and open. And then it's just our upper body coming down so that we can get that nice hamstring stretch. And this is another one of those poses where you definitely do not want to force yourself deeper. We just want to find that edge of comfort and stretch, allowing yourself to melt down with each deep breath. And nice inhale, we'll gently rise back up. And from here, we'll bring the soles of the feet together in Bandha Konasana butterfly pose. I like to place my blocks underneath my knees for this one, just to give myself some support. We can place one hand on the heart, the other just underneath the navel on our dantian, center of life force energy. Tuning into the Anahata heart chakra, center of love, and the Svadhisthana sacral chakra, center of life. Just take a moment here to come back to this present moment. Come back to your breath. Come back to this center. Keeping our lower body just how it is, we can gently release our upper body down to the mat, finding our way into a reclined butterfly. Feel free to take whatever micro adjustment you need to stay nice and cozy here. Maybe that means grabbing a blanket or a pillow. Finding your way into the most comfortable version of this pose. Deep breaths here. Releasing the jaw, relaxing the eyebrows. Taking the deepest breath you've taken all day. Our next inhale, we'll gently bring the knees together. We can release our props to the side. And from here, we'll widen our feet out to the outer edges of the mat. We'll gently just start swooshing our legs from side to side. Just getting those little windshield wiper legs in. Enjoying these little movements. Coming back to center, take a deep breath in. Exhale, hugging your knees into the chest. Give yourself some love. Releasing your head back down, take a deep breath in. Exhale, both knees sail to the left, upper body twists to the right for a supine twist. Deep breaths here. We'll inhale back to center. Exhale, hugging the knees. Releasing your head, take a deep breath in. Exhale, knees sail to the right, upper body twists to the left for a supine twist on the other side. Deep breaths here. We'll inhale back to center. Exhale, hugging the knees one last time. Give yourself so much love. We'll release by grabbing the outer edges of the feet in Ananda Balasana, happy baby. Once we're here, we can rock from side to side. Straighten one leg and then the other. And as you're ready, we'll gently make our way to our final Savasana, corpse pose. Palms facing up, eyes are closed. Grabbing whatever props you need to get nice and cozy. Just bringing your attention back to the breath. Maybe bringing it back to your intention that you set at the beginning of practice. You can feel free to stay here as long as you need. But whenever you're ready, we'll start to wake the body back up by wiggling the fingers and the toes, inviting in an awakening breath, and gently roll to the side, supporting our head with our arms, taking a deep breath here. As you're ready, we'll gently push ourselves back up to a comfortable seated position in Sukhasana. Bringing our hands to heart center in Anjali Mudra, sealing in all of the good energy from today's practice. Thank you so much for being here. The light, love, and divinity in me honors the light, love, and divinity in you. Thumbs come to the third eye, we bow. Namaste.